Hey guys, I hope that I'm live right now. If you are able to listen to me properly as well as there is no problem with the audio or the video, please do let me know. Hello everyone, I hope that I'm live right now. If you guys are able to listen to me properly as well as there is no problem with either the audio or the video, please do let me know. Okay, so there are no problems. Am I right? I'm pretty audible and everything is clear on your screens as well. Okay, great. Amazing, guys. Amazing. So, I hope that everyone is all right now. It's great to see so many people back again for the boot camps. We will be starting off today with our HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. And for the project, we will be building the Facebook clone. Okay, so that is what we are going to do here. Okay, so yeah, so let me just introduce myself. My name is Shaurasana. I'm the co-founder right over here at DevTown. I've previously worked with companies like Reliance, Geo, and other companies as well. I've been a data analyst, I've been a full stack engineer, I've been a machine learning engineer, and right now I'm both an educator as well as I'm handling the management team and looking at the tech side. So that is a brief intro about myself. Let me know about you guys. Like, where are you from? What are your interests, especially in technology? What is something that you are like determined to be, like a data analyst, a data scientist, a full stack engineer, front end engineer, UI UX engineer? You want to be an APM, okay, or a product manager or something like that, or a product engineer. So, what are your like, and where are you from? So, which college are you from? Let me know. So, that's amazing. So Nitesh is doing BTech CSE. Because Kaustav is from Dehradun. We have people from Vishakhapatnam. Tell me more about yourself. Okay, Khushbu wants to be a data analyst as well as a full stack engineer just like me. So that's great. Krishnan wants to become a full stack engineer. Amazing. So, okay. BTech ECE Kerala. That's great. Chandigarh University, Hyderabad, Mumbai. Okay, CSE IoT and cybersecurity. That's also great. Delhi University, amazing. Full stack engineer, great. ECE, okay. Integrated MCA, amazing. Front end developer, software engineer, good. Okay, so many of you are writing stuff out. I understand that some of you might be even concerned with, okay, I'm not able to understand what's a full stack engineer. I don't know what a data analyst is, or even a front end engineer or a back end engineer. These are concepts that are just, I'm not familiar with. What are their rules? What are their responsibilities? And are they even same or not? So we will be discussing about that in this bootcamp as well. I want to make sure that you guys actually know what you are going to do and how you have to achieve that. If you have decided your aim is to become a cybersecurity expert or your aim is to become a full stack engineer, what are the things that you need to know and so on and so forth. So we will be discussing about that. What are the salary average expected salary packages? What are the kind of candidates that the companies are looking forward to? What are the different companies that you can actually apply to? So all these different things we will be discussing about it in this particular bootcamp, along with actually like learning HTML, CSS, and JavaScript and having hands-on practice on those concepts as well as completing a bootcamp. So the entire boot camp has been prepared in such a way that you don't need to know anything. Okay, you don't even need to be from a CSC background or an engineering background as well. The only thing that you should be comfortable with is English, because the entire mode of communication throughout the boot camp will be in English. And I hope that everyone is extremely comfortable in understanding as well as listening to what I'm saying right now. That's the only prerequisite, nothing else. The languages, the technologies, everything will be taught from scratch. That is from the extreme beginner level to at least an intermediate level in the boot camp in these 7 days itself. Once you have learned the concepts and you have hands-on practice on those concepts, then we'll be moving to the project. So we'll be doing the project which you can put up on your resumes as well. Okay, so that this bootcamp leaves you with a good taste in your mouth at the end of the day. As well as once you've completed the entire bootcamp, so there will be some certificates that will be giving out. So there will be one certificate by DevTown saying that you have completed a 7-day bootcamp on so and so topic. And then there will be another certificate via Google Developer Groups. These will be given out to people who will be having 100% attendance during the 7 days, as well as you will be completing the project. So if you are having 100% attendance, we will be giving you the certificate via DevTown that you have completed the 7 days bootcamp. And if you have also submitted the project, so the project that we'll be doing in these 7 days, we will be asking you to submit those projects back, okay? And we'll be checking through them. So once that checking process has been completed, then we'll be dispatching your Google certificates. Okay, in that it will be a certificate via Google saying that you have completed a 7 days program on so and so topic with this project as your capstone project. So that will also be something that you guys will be getting, and you can put it up on your resumes as well. Okay. Okay, so Bharti is from Bangalore. That's great. Yeah, both the certificates will be a digital certificate. The entire bootcamp, any of our bootcamps is absolutely free. You don't have to pay anything for the certificates. You don't have to pay anything for the bootcamps. The only thing that we expect from your behalf is that you're actually learning something. Do not see, certificates don't have any value if you don't have the knowledge that pertains to the topics that you have put up on those certificates. If it is a certificate related to HTML, CSS and JavaScript, and you have that certificate, but you have no knowledge related to that particular topic, those certificates have no value. But in the other sense, if you have the knowledge as well as the certificate, these certificates are actually showing that, okay, this guy has this particular knowledge, and the interviewer can ask questions related to those topics. So this helps the interviewer narrow down your position in the company as well as the questions that he needs to ask to make sure that you actually know that. So all these different things are something that you need to know, okay? And it will be an amazing time. Also, like, see, many people will be joining us a bit late. I request them to join on time, and please be very helpful to me. I might not be able to answer all the questions. So if it is something, if a particular person is asking something that has already been answered by me, okay, and you have heard the answer, for example, like what are the certificates and what is the criteria, or what is the project that we are going to do. If these are the questions that somebody is asking, please be helpful enough to help them. Okay, try to be as interactive as possible throughout the community. That will help you go further in the community itself. Okay. So that's great. Guru Prasad. Yes, we'll be doing JavaScript as well. How to give attendance. Okay, so at the end of today's class, I'll be showing you guys how to give out the attendance. Okay, how to fill the attendance form and from where you will be getting the attendance form. So please be patient up till the end. Okay, we will be showing that as well. Ho, 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 ho. So are you guys ready? And should we start? Please let me know. I have an interest in ML engineer. That's great, master. Okay, Rahul. Okay, your name is Rahul. Okay, that's great. They will surely discuss on that as well. Okay, and maybe what we can do is after today's class, okay, we can have a live session on Instagram if you guys want that. Maybe that will be beneficial for you. We can have a live session on Instagram. I will go live, and there we'll talk about the different kinds of job opportunities that are available, how to prepare about those job opportunities, and maybe we'll take some of you guys live with me, and if you have any questions or queries, I will try to answer that as well. So what do you guys think? Should we have something like that after today's class? Yeah, everything is for a beginner. You don't have to worry about that. Okay, sure. So let's do one thing. After this particular class is over, uh, I will ask my team to either. Okay, so down in the description of today's video, there will be a link to our Instagram page. Okay, just go over there, follow us, and immediately after 5 to 10 minutes. Okay, let's keep it at 10 minutes itself. Okay, so after 10 minutes, we will have a live session on Instagram where I will be live. And if you want, I will take you up live with me and we'll have a good chat. Okay. Uh, why the name of company changed from Shape AI to DevTown? I've taken training and internship course now at the time of Shape AI. Those certificates are waste. No code bits. Those certificates are not waste. Shape AI is an individual company that is still running on. And if you have any problems with that, if you are getting stuck anywhere, you can directly approach to my team and they will issue you new certificates by the name of DevTown if that is what you want. Okay, but you won't face any kind of problem using Shape AI certificates as well. You don't have to worry about that. Okay. The classes will always be between 7 to 8. Okay, so you don't have to worry about that. Okay, it will always be between 7 to 8 itself. Okay, so let's get started, guys. So let's start off with the basics. So you are here for web development, but to learn actual web development, you first need to understand how the internet or how the websites actually work. Okay, both the parts. So website is a totally different thing. Internet is a totally different thing. You need to know how these both technologies work. Once you have understood that, then we can move on to actually like learning the technologies like HTML, CSS and JavaScript. Okay, so let's first start off with the basics. Okay, and let's take it one by one. Okay, so what happens is, for example, right now I'm able to see a question like what is the difference between Java and JavaScript. Most probably that would be the question. So I will be answering these type of questions when we reach there. I want to take it slowly and steadily, pace by pace, so that I'm able to build you conceptually up. Okay, if you start from top to bottom, your concepts will be extremely bad. You never see a building being made from top to bottom. It always starts from the base. You have to establish the base properly so that the building stands on it. Okay, so that is our aim. So let's get started, guys. So I will just open up Paint for now to make you guys understand. Okay, and I'm opening up the live chat on my phone because I want to see the chat as well if there are some questions that need to be addressed. Just a second, guys. Okay, so I'm able to access your chats as well. Okay, so I will be able to see all your questions and queries. Okay, so let's get started, guys. Okay, so let's first try to understand the internet. Okay, so what happens when you are using the internet? You are having one computer right over here. Pardon me for my drawing, it's not that great. I hope that you will be able to understand what I'm trying to say. Okay, so let's have an computer right over here. So this is a computer. There are two computers. This is your computer. So let's have the name as Shiva. And then let's have another computer right over here named Sin. Okay, so let's have two computers. These both are friends at a particular point. So what does the internet does? The internet is, think of it as pipelines, okay, that connect your computer to your friend's computer, so that both of you are able to talk, you are able to exchange data, you are able to exchange pictures and all those kind of stuff. That is how an internet on its very core function. There are various other concepts, I will be coming to that as well. Okay, but I want to slowly and steadily introduce you to the concept. Okay, so now what happens is, maybe you can replace this particular computer, this your friend's computer, with something else. Okay, that is called as a server. Okay, a server is nothing else but a computer itself. Okay, but the job of this server, the server is also a computer. It's a normal computer that is there, but it stores the files, okay, that create a website. It stores all the data, all the files that create a particular website. Now what happens is, once you have written www.google.com, so you have seen that meme of Mr. Bean saying magic. Okay, so think about that. So some magic happens. Okay, some magic happens. I will be talking about that magic as well. And Shiva is now able to communicate directly to this particular server. Okay, Shiva is able to directly communicate with the server, and the server sends the files pertaining to www.google.com. This server sends the files pertaining to google.com that is then sent, okay, over this internet to Shiva's computer, where they are able to see the website itself. Now this is a very like high level diagram way in which I just said some magic happens and those files are then sent to the Shiva's computer, but this is far from truth. Okay, what happens actually is, let's try to understand. So do you guys understand what do you mean by a internet service provider, ISP? Do you guys know what an ISP is? If somebody has any idea of an ISP, can you give me an example of an ISP? Internet service provider. It's very simple, guys. Just try to think about it. Okay, who provides you the internet? Right now, if you want to buy an internet package, who do you approach? If you try to buy internet, who do you approach, guys? Airtel. Okay, okay. So yeah, I thought most of you might be saying Jio. First of all, dude, I worked there, so just take that into account. Okay, so Airtel, Jio, maybe something else as well, BSNL. Okay, maybe Vodafone. Its stocks are going up. It's having a very bad day, but anyhow, you guys are able to understand that Airtel, Jio, all these are ISP or internet service providers. So when you are writing www.google.com, okay, when you are writing www.google.com in your browser, it basically sends a request to the ISP or the internet service provider. Okay, and that internet service provider then looks up through a dictionary. Think about a phone book. Are you guys familiar with the concept of a phone book? You're having your names and then the numbers associated with those names. Okay, so it looks at a DNS. Can somebody let me know what is the full form of DNS? Can somebody let me know what is the full form of DNS? And please don't, okay, you can Google it as well. Like Googling is also a skill, but do you know what is the full form of DNS, guys? Domain name. Okay, so that is an issue, guys. It's not server, it's system. Domain name, so it's called as a DNS server, but the name is DNS, domain name system. Okay, so please remember this. Domain name. This is very important, guys. It may be asked to you in your interviews. You have to be very particular. Okay, if it is domain name service, you have to say service. If it is a domain name system, you have to say system. If it is a domain name server, you have to say it as a domain name server. Here the name is domain name system. Okay, so DNS is the full form, is domain name server. So the ISP then looks up for www.google.com in the DNS that is there. Okay, and this DNS is nothing else but a dictionary of the domain name. So what is the domain name in your URL? Google.com. This is the domain name. Okay, and it looks for, so it is a pair of domain name and the IP, internet protocol. Okay, IP address of that domain name. Okay, so the least I'm expecting is you guys should be familiar with every computer on a network. Any computer on a network has its particular IP address associated with it. How are you going to understand, or how are you going to know that, okay, this is a particular computer, that is a particular, so if you are having a friend, okay, you are having 15 friends in Bangalore, the only way I am able to address their homes is by their addresses. So think of IP address as the address of a particular domain name. So if I'm not wrong, 256.1.210.46. If I'm not wrong, this is the IP address of google.com. If I am remembering it correctly, it may be wrong as well. Like, it has been a very long period of time since I've looked it up. But yeah, so another example of an IP address would be like Vijay Mohan has said, 256.256.2.6.0. Okay, so usually it ranges between 0.0.0 to 256.256.256.256. Okay, so that is what I'm trying to make you guys understand right over here. So ISP will send a request to the DNS server. It's again a computer that holds the records for all the domain name as well as the IP addresses associated with those domain names. Once it is found the IP addresses associated with that particular domain name, it will send that IP address back to the ISP. Okay, and that ISP will link your computer directly to the computer that has that IP address, that is the server. So this IP address belongs to this particular server. The ISP will then link your computer physically via a wire. Okay, it's literally a physical wire that it will be linking through to your network to the server that has this particular IP address. So you will be like, dude, like, how is this even possible? Okay, like a physical wire you are saying. So maybe Google is having its offices in North Atlanta or something like that, in US, and I'm sitting here in India. Like, how is a wire going from India to like US? So these are possible through internet tubes, internet wires that are there throughout the entire world, out of which for a fact 60% is owned and operated by TCS, that is Tata Consulting Services. So 60% of the internet goes through TCS. Okay, so please remember that. So let's go and check these internet wires. Let me check internet backbone. Okay, so just think about, these are optical fibers, optical wires that are there throughout the entire world. It is called as the internet backbone because it is the backbone of the entire internet. And you will be able to see, so let me just open up a particular image. Let's take up this image for an example, open in a new tab. So this is an example of all the wires that are connecting different places throughout the entire world. Okay, through these optical fibers and optical tubings that are there. It is underwater, it is on the land, it is over the land, anywhere and everywhere these optical fibers are. And as you are able to see from India, okay, you will be able to connect to directly to US as well through these optical fibers. Okay, so let's try to understand how these wires look like. Okay, so if you're thinking about small and thin wires, it's actually not the case. This is how these wires look like, and each of these are like this big, like you can fit it through, like your arms are thin than these wires, your legs are thin than these wires are. Okay, so these wires are extremely thick. Okay, and it goes around the entire globe and has been put up underwater as well. Like I said, 60% is owned and operated by TCS. It's an Indian company itself, if you're not familiar with. So that is what I'm trying to make you guys understand, that this is how the internet actually works. Okay, if somebody is asking you at any point of time that do you know how an internet works, it's not just as simple as connecting to your Wi-Fi and that's it. There's so much that goes around, and it's 100% cabled. You are able to use a Wi-Fi that has a distance of like 5 feet or 10 feet, like that. That is the only thing that is wireless. The entire stuff is actually 100% wired. That is how the internet works. Okay, are you guys able to understand? And I hope that you are not bored up till now. Okay, those wires look like the wires that Iron Man repaired in the Avengers movie, his intro scene. So Vijay, these wires are actually very similar to electrical wires as well. So those wires that you were seeing in your Iron Man scene, those were the electrical wires, and he fitted a small portion of the arc reactor to make it like energy efficient and sufficient at the end of the day. Okay, a huge comic book fan, a nerd here. So okay, I hope that I've not lost any of you and you guys are like able to understand everything and there's no problems. If you have any questions, don't hesitate. Okay, try to be as open as possible in the community, and yes, I will be there to help you guys out. Somebody from the community will be there to help you guys out, so don't worry about that. Okay, we have like 35 mentors right over here from various companies, from Facebook, Amazon, Microsoft, Google, every single company. You don't have to worry about it. Okay. Okay, great. So now that we have understood the concepts of how the internet works, so up till now I didn't had a PPT ready for you, but I thought that was very important for you to know. So now we'll be going to our PPT. I will be trying to make sure that I'm able to put up amazing drawings just like before as well, so that you guys are keep on entertaining yourself as well. But right now we'll be starting off with our PPT. Okay, so I hope that you guys are able to see the PPT clearly. If there is any problem, please let me know. If there is any problem with the PPT, guys, please let me know. Okay, so it's not actually TCS, but like a subsidiary of Tata. So TCS is also a subsidiary of Tata. TCS handles the maintenance of those lines, whereas that subsidiary, I don't remember the subsidiary name. That subsidiary is the one that puts down these wires. Okay. So the PPT I will be sharing on the WhatsApp groups. Okay. So that I will be sharing it today itself. Okay, by tonight. Okay. So that if you want to refer to the PPT, that's totally cool with me. Okay. Okay. So let's just start. Okay, so this is, so right now you guys might be using, if you are on your iOS devices, you might be using Safari as the web browser of your choice. You might be using Mozilla Firefox. You might be using Internet Explorer, the Edge, not the Internet Explorer that has been discontinued, Microsoft Edge. You might be using Google Chrome. You might be using Brave. You might be using Opera Mini. There are just so many browsers that you are using right now to like watch YouTube or Netflix or something else as well. But one of the original web browsers that were made, one of the first web browsers that were made, okay, was made by a particular company called as Netscape. Okay, Netscape was founded by a very great person whose name I don't remember. That is something that I shouldn't have done. But just a second, let me try to find the name of that particular person. Founder of Netscape. So Mark Anderson. Okay, so Mark Anderson was one of the main founders of Netscape. He's also the founder of many companies, VC companies that have invested in companies like Facebook, early investors in Facebook, early investors in Netflix, early investors in Google. So this is a particular person who has made the world that you see today. One of the leading people in technology. There is nobody greater than him. Okay, so do remember him. Okay, James H. Clark, not a great future. Like the past isn't too kind to him, but Mark Anderson has been an amazing person. So do go through his story. I think so. You guys would be liking it, and you will find some inspiration as well for yourself. Okay, so the original browser, once the dominant browser in terms of usage share. So at one particular point of time, 90% of the entire world was using Netscape as its main browser. Okay, it actually was replaced by Internet Explorer, and Internet Explorer also recently died. Okay, Microsoft closed its gates to Internet Explorer as well. Netscape was also discontinued. All the support for Netscape browsers and its products were terminated on March 2008. But if you are able to see right over here, if you are able to see this particular picture of the Netscape browser, this is a particular picture of the Netscape browser from 1994. Okay, 1994. As you're able to see, it's still a bit similar to what we are actually using right now. As you are able to see, you are having your URL. Okay, location, that is your URL where you write www.google.com. You're having a back button, okay, to go backwards to the previous page. You have a forward button to go to the next page. You have a home button to take you to the home page, a refresh button, a find button, a print button. So most of this stuff actually looks very similar to the current browsers that we have, whether it be Safari or Chrome or even Brave. So as you're able to see, over the past almost 28 years, almost 28 years. The Netscape, the browser, the browser itself hasn't changed a lot. The browser itself hasn't changed a lot. The features, the things that we use in our browser today are the same features and things that we were using 28 years ago. So there is not a lot of change in web development. With time, maybe some tools change, maybe some optimizations are there, but the things remain quite similar. Okay, that is what I try to make you guys understand right over here. Okay. So the basic components of a website, any website. So what is the use of a web browser? The only use of a web browser is how to showcase. Okay, how, so when you're getting the files from the servers, okay, you connected yourself through the IP address to the servers. The servers send some files. These files are usually HTML, CSS and JavaScript files that are sent back to your computer, and then it is the role of the browser itself, the web browser, to showcase those files to you in a way that you are able to interpret. If I am just showing you code, you won't like it. These are just like 3 files of code. That's it. This is not an web browser, web site. So if you want to see a website like you do, for example, google.com or netflix.com or maybe Facebook or Instagram, these are rendered, these files are rendered in a particular way that you are able to understand by the web browser. Okay, right over here we are having HTML, CSS and JavaScript files that are the main files. Let's try to understand what these 3 files actually mean. Okay, so HTML is like the skeleton of the entire website. It's just the text, how it's going to be, like what are the hyperlinks, what are the images that you want to put inside a particular website. That is your HTML. This is the first website that was created. Okay, this is the very first website that was created. This is called as the World Wide Web, and it has nothing else but maybe some bold text, some paragraph text, maybe some hyperlinks. That's it. Like HTML was originally created by people at UC Berkeley, if I'm not wrong, and Michigan, and the only why they created that, the importance of creating this was at that point of time when you wanted to share research or you wanted to discuss stuff with someone or you wanted to refer to some books, you had to actually go to a physical library and get those books, refer to that, or send those books or your researches to other professors by mail or by text. Okay, means by letterheads. Okay, not by mail and text. I'm not trying to say that phone actually existed at that point of time. So by letters or by parcels, you had to do that, and it was a very tedious and a very long process. And to overcome that, they created the World Wide Web. They created it in such a way that all the resources, all the things that were there, all this text, okay, can be brought up on a particular internet, and then anyone from across the globe can take a reference to your work, add to your work at instantaneously. They don't have to wait weeks. Okay, similarly right over here as well, so for example, you have a reference to a particular book. So instead of like attaching just the name of that book and you can go to the library and get that book and refer to it, you could actually put up a PDF of that book and you could put up a hyperlink, okay, a link to that particular book. You can just click on that particular link and it will open up the book with that particular reference highlighted. You can go through the reference at that particular instance itself. So all these things were why HTML was created. But with time you are able to see that okay, it has a lot of function, but you need a form as well. You need it to look beautiful. You need it to look approachable. It shouldn't be like it can only be used by PhD graduates. Under that age, everybody would get bored. You don't want that. And for that, you created, so this is one of the websites of Microsoft, one of the earliest websites of one of the largest companies on this planet, Microsoft. And as you're able to see, like, it's nothing great. Like the image is all too shabby, the letters and everything look in the same format itself. Like it does not look good at the end of the day. You want your websites to be approachable, to feel like lively, to feel good while using your website, and for that you had CSS. So the full form of HTML is hypertext markup language. Now you need to understand what is a markup language. So for example, whenever you will be looking at Egyptian records or Egyptian language itself, they have a whole lot of hieroglyphs and all those kind of stuff that have some special meaning, and you insert those particular hieroglyphs. Okay, so like I think so I forgot to switch off the please don't do this. Okay, this is all for free. We are not here to do that. Okay, so whatever your name is, or anyone else as well, I will make sure from tomorrow this is not on. Nobody can do this, but please try to make sure that this is not happening. Okay, just focus upon what we are learning here. You will be able to achieve great things. Okay, so HTML of hypertext markup language, like I said, markup language, like in Egyptian writings there are hieroglyphs. These are having some kind of special meaning in Egyptian records itself, that add a hyper, like a little bit of meaning to your writings, and these are called as markup languages. Similarly, HTML is also a markup language, and the hypertext markup language is its full form. We'll be looking at what these meanings are and what are the different things that we are going to do from tomorrow when we'll be starting off with HTML. Okay, so CSS was introduced. CSS was introduced to make the website a bit more attractive, a bit more like organized, not just in one format. You are able to see everything properly and move along as well. So CSS, or cascading style sheets, okay, as the name suggests, it's a styling sheet. It adds styles to your website. Okay, so as you're able to see, this is one of the websites of Yahoo from 1998. Okay, at that point of time, CSS came into being and it was being taken up by various companies. So this is how different like the Microsoft website looks using just HTML, and then you are having your Yahoo website with HTML as well as the CSS. Okay, cascading style sheets, that's correct, Yash. Okay, so that is how things slowly changed. And then came the game like changer, the game ender, whatever you want to call it as, that is JavaScript. As a matter of fact, JavaScript was actually created as a requirement in just 10 days. An entire language that powers almost 99% of the entire, of the 100% of the front end. Okay, 100% of the front end is being powered by JavaScript, and 80% of the backend is also being powered by JavaScript. So you are able to see almost 90% of the entire internet is based on a language that was actually created in just 10 days. Okay, it was actually created in just 10 days. Now many of you might be like, okay, so I have heard about Java. Okay, I am hearing about JavaScript right now. Both of them have the letter Java common between them. Are they similar? Is there any information between them? What is the relationship between Java and JavaScript? The relationship is as similar to as an apple and a pineapple, or a car and a carpet, or a bear and a teddy bear. Okay, you need to understand that the only thing common between these two languages is the term Java and nothing else. That's it. There is nothing common between any of it. They are not related to any of it, and I will let you know how like they this came into being. Okay, how did JavaScript came into being? So when it was earlier made on, okay, when it was actually made on, it was called as LiveScript. Okay, when it was just created in 10 days, it was called as LiveScript at that point of time. But nobody wanted to learn a new language. Right now, every single day, thousands of new languages are being created. You're not learning every one of them. Nobody wanted to learn LiveScript as well. So the creators, so this was made particularly for Netscape. Okay, so the marketing people at Netscape tried to like find a marketing solution for this. They sought at that point of time in 1980s and 90s. Java was one of the most used languages. The most used language, from your TV to the remote controls to the AC to the every single thing that needed programming, it was being done in Java at that point of time. So they thought that, okay, let's do one thing. Let's change the name from LiveScript to JavaScript. Okay, now what happens is within the common people, they have heard about Java. Now a programming language comes by the name of JavaScript. What will they think? This is a scripting language for Java. I should be learning that. In fact, there was no similarity between them. It was not a scripting language for Java, but the name, the marketing name was made in such a way that people started learning and using it in a very, very, very fast forward pace. The entire website was previously made in Java, and now the entire, all companies, all the industries shifted towards JavaScript. Once they got a taste using the medicine, they were only able to taste that ice cream. Once they started to eat it, they realized how tasty it is and how healthy it is for them as well. And hence, most of them started to change it, okay, from running everything in Java to JavaScript. And now you might have heard about ES6, ES7, ECMAScript, all these kind of words. So, like always, the European Union had a European standard name for anything. So, JavaScript, the standard name for JavaScript according to the European Union is ECMAScript or ES6 or ES7, that is depending upon the versions. So, JavaScript, LiveScript, ECMAScript, ES6, ES7 are all different names for the same programming language, that is JavaScript. Okay, there are all different names for the same programming language, guys. So never get ki like, oh, have you learned ES6 or ES7? Yes, it's the same thing as JavaScript. Yes, I have learned that. Okay, so never get agitated that okay, I didn't knew this existed or something like that. Okay. Okay, great. What are the role of CSS and JavaScript in web development? Yeah, we are going to discuss upon that right now. Somebody removed my great GIF. Okay, so no issues. I will just draw it then. Okay, I will just let you guys know. I had a great GIF in that PPT. Somebody removed it from the designing team. I think so. They found it not to be funny enough, but it was hilarious. So basically, the difference between HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Think about your thing. So Deadpool. I hope that everybody is familiar with Deadpool. Okay, from the Marvel universe. If you're not familiar, if you're a DC hardcore DC fan, let's go with who is the protagonist for Deadpool in DC. So Wade Wilson, so that would be your Deathstroke. Okay, so for the DC fans, take up Deathstroke. For Marvel fans, take up Deadpool. Now think about just the skeleton of Deadpool. Okay, that is your HTML. It's nothing else but the skeleton of the body. It just gives it a structure. Okay, when you move to CSS, it's all the flesh, the bones, the hairstyle, the katanas, the costume, the spandex, the eyes, all these features that make Deadpool at the end of the day, just by looking at it, is your CSS that adds the beautification to CSS itself. Okay, and then you are having your third particular portion, that is your JavaScript. That is your mind and your entire nervous system that actually helps you do stuff. Okay, that actually helps you pick up stuff, throw stuff, put some fingers out. I don't know. So these things are what JavaScript does. Okay, so you are having your HTML, that is the structure. You are having your CSS, that the beauty of the website. Okay, the colors, everything, how it looks, and then there's JavaScript that performs function. Now today's internet has become so reliable on JavaScript that it won't even load up without JavaScript. It won't even load up without JavaScript. Let me show you. So let's go to Insta. Array man, what is this? Okay, so yeah, see, HTML and CSS are not programming languages. Okay, please try to understand. The programming language is just JavaScript. HTML and CSS are just scripts that we write. Okay, so there's a huge difference, and it would be very easy. You don't have to worry about it. We'll share the necessary study material on Discord as well, Kirti, but it will be better if you are joining the WhatsApp group. So the Discord is basically like a community that we are having, where you will be getting to know about, like, we'll be sending roadmaps, we'll be having some type of boot camps just for the Discord community. We'll be having some kind of webinars, some kind of podcasts. We'll be having cheat sheets. We'll be having projects just for the Discord community. And the WhatsApp groups are majorly made for the fact that you are always updated with everything that is going on in DevTown. Okay, So yeah, so this is the like our Insta page. Okay, as you are able to see. So these are the posts. You will always get some good content right over here. I'm very sure of it. I try to make sure that some of the content is going through me so that I'm able to put some stuff right over here as well. We try to have some jokes as well, like some type of, so that you are always having some knowledge as well as some laughs. So we try our best. And of course, you can also follow me from here. You will be able to find my account, Shaurasana. If you have anything that you want to talk to or something like that, you can always approach us and we'll try to answer them properly on our private account. This is where you will be going live. Okay. So after today's class, after 10 minutes, I will be coming here on this particular account. The link to the Instagram account is down below. I will be going live. If there is someone who wants to join live with me, he or she can totally do that. Okay. Sir, what's the link of the WhatsApp group? So let me do one thing. Tomorrow when we will be having the bootcamp, I will bring a new WhatsApp group, a list of 5 WhatsApp groups that are brand new. And I will put it down in the description of tomorrow's video. And you can, the guys who aren't on WhatsApp groups can join from there as well. Okay, will that be okay with everyone? Please let me know. Okay. Okay, so let's do one thing. I have an extension put right over here and I will be disabling the JavaScript from this website. Okay, I've disabled JavaScript from this particular website. Now when I'm trying to reload this particular page, okay, that is Instagram, okay, it won't even open. As you're able to see, it will just reload itself, but it won't even open a single time. Nowadays, even YouTube, let's go to, so I've disabled JavaScript, let's go to YouTube as well. So this is the C++. Okay. So if I'm trying to go to YouTube, that also won't load up because JavaScript is disabled on here as well. Okay, if you try to go to Twitter. Okay, so this is how Google looks without JavaScript. Okay, without JavaScript, this is how your Google search pages actually look like. If you are going to Twitter or something like that, or like Elon Musk has bought the entire company, they have a website that says JavaScript is not available. So they actually know that you are trying to pull some shady shit. So they are able to put this up right over here. So this is how JavaScript affects different pages. Let's do one thing. Let's enable JavaScript. Let's go to YouTube once again. So this is a particular list of videos that we'll be making like from the next week or so. We'll be putting it live. Okay, so every day we'll be having one class on C++ as well. It will be a month-long program in which everything in C++ from the basics to the most advanced concepts in that language will be taught. Okay, so if you guys are like ready for that, do join the same and we'll be having an amazing time. So what I'm going to, this is how a normal website with JavaScript and CSS look like. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to remove the CSS. So disable all styles, and this is how a website looked like without CSS. No, this C++ course will also be completely free. Okay, it will be put on YouTube, so there won't be any charges. On YouTube it will be happening. Okay, so don't worry about it. So as you're able to see, this is how YouTube looks like. That same page looks like without your CSS. As you're able to see how big each and every image is, like just look at this. This is how the images look like. So that's the thing, like CSS and JavaScript both are extremely, so maybe somebody is like, okay, I want to visit the Insta account as well. So how does the Instagram account look like without CSS? So let's go to our profile right over here. This is how it looks like with CSS, as you are able to see. And let's go back. Let's go to our web developer and disable all styles. And this is how your Instagram looks like without CSS on. This is how it looks like. So both HTML, CSS and JavaScript is extremely essential for a website to work. If I disable JavaScript right over here, it won't even load, so I'm not doing that. But yeah, it's very important, guys. And this is just the skeleton. This is just the HTML code that is there. Okay. Okay. So any other questions that you guys are having, please let me know. Any questions, any concerns, anything else, guys, please feel free to approach me. Think of me as a friend. Okay? Okay, just attendance. Okay, like anything except that. Let me just see. I have some jokes that maybe you guys will be able to understand. So this is one of my favorite jokes that this is a joke that I created. The server has crashed. Where's the backup on the server? So like we are trying our best to have some kind of jokes related to technology as well. Okay, and of course posts are also there, like some informative posts that you will be able to. So for example, opening camera using HTML. So when you are using HTML, you can of course do these codes snippets as well. So you will be able to do that. Okay. So we are having a lot. So speech recognition, HTML, CSS, JavaScript. So these are small projects that are there. Okay. So that you, if you want to do it, you can definitely try it out, and you will enjoy the entire thing as well. As far as the WhatsApp groups, like I said, tomorrow when we'll be having our class, I'll be putting up 5 WhatsApp group links, new WhatsApp groups links down in the description of tomorrow's video. Okay, anybody who is still not on any WhatsApp groups can definitely join there. For today, you can join the Discord channels or the Telegram channel, okay, or both as well. It will be great. So can we tell complete HTML, CSS and JavaScript? I'm not able to understand your questions. You don't have to worry, Ashwarya. We have previously had boot camps where we have finished everything in 7 days. Don't worry, okay? We will be doing it. Even if we take one more day, I will be completing it properly. I don't want to hurry you guys up. I want to make sure that everybody is able to understand everything. That's much more important for me, okay? Sure, guys, you can also connect with me as well as DevTown on LinkedIn. It would be better if you are able to connect with DevTown on LinkedIn. Okay, you can of course connect with me as well. So let me just open up the YouTube video, okay, and just mute it as well. Let me open up the link right over here. Yeah, we won't be skipping any concepts. You don't have to worry. First of all, if you guys don't have a LinkedIn account, I sincerely request you to create a LinkedIn account. It does not matter if you don't have an Instagram account, you can live with that. But if you are planning to become a software engineer or a software developer or anything in the tech field, you should have a great LinkedIn account. Okay, it's extremely important, guys. Do not forget it. If you don't have a LinkedIn account, create it today. Okay, and then after you have created it, you can come down in the description of the today's video itself, and you will be able to find a link for the LinkedIn page. Okay, right over here in the description of the video itself, you will be able to find our link to our LinkedIn page. You can of course connect with us right over there. There are 2 profiles. Okay, this is the super admin profile. Let me just remove it from right over here. Okay, view as a member. So this is our page right over here. We are having almost 12,300 followers right over here, and then we are having our profile as well, and there you will be able to find almost 27,700 people as our connections. So do join this community. We will definitely try to help you guys out. Okay, so please disable HTML. Sai, there is no disabling the HTML. It's the skeleton. If you are removing the skeleton from the body, there's nothing left. Okay, nothing left to showcase. It will just be an empty screen. So that's why there is never a button for disabling the HTML. Okay, for my LinkedIn page, you can directly search for Shaurya Sinha. Okay, on LinkedIn, just search for Shaurya Sinha. I have to like take it up a bit. Okay, like I haven't scraped it off yet for a very long period of time. So I will make sure that it's updated as well. Okay. Okay, so let's do one thing. Let's hold off for right over now. Okay, we'll continue with HTML from tomorrow. There's just one request that I'm having. Guys, do subscribe to the channel as well as like the video, because you don't know how much it really helps us to reach more number of students. For us, We created DevTown after we like left our colleges, and when we started with our jobs, the one thing that I regretted the most was that when I was in college, there was no help given out to me. There was no guidance given out to me. Like there was some shitty people on YouTube that said something. There was some shitty seniors that said something, and I was just following them blindly, and I wasted almost 3 years of my college life. I could have done everything in like 6 months and got the dream job that I wanted. But I had to waste 3 years to get the same job. Now that guidance is actually missing. The reality, like people will be like, "Arey, you just do front end web development or even like React, and you will be getting jobs like anything." That's just false. You won't get shit anywhere. Okay, that's the main thing. Like people don't know what and why everything happens, and there was not one source which introduced me to the C. With that concept in mind, we started with Shape AI and then later rebranded it to DevTown. And see, we are a non-profit organization. All our instructors, our mentors that are there, you will be able to see on the attendance link as well. There are almost 35 mentors that we are having from Google, Amazon, CodeChef, HP, Porsche, McKinsey and Company, Sony, Cisco, Oracle, TensorFlow, Goldman Sachs, Microsoft. So all these instructors are there. But everyone is doing their hardest to support this community, and the only thing that we want from you guys is your help to move further in this. Because see, of course we try to invest our own money sometimes to make the community grow as well, but it usually spreads through word of mouth as well as your help and support. So do support us. Okay, there are 400 people. Just like the video, subscribe to the channel, go on our Instagram page, follow us there, be open to more events, come to the boot camps, and that will really help us out a lot. Okay, we'll be discussing about that as well, like for off-campus placements, on-campus placements, all the different kinds of things that you need to know. So we'll be doing that. So right now I'm going to show the attendance link to your screens. Okay, every day the attendance link will be shared in this particular format itself. There will be no changes. Nobody is allowed to share the attendance link with anyone. Anybody found sharing the attendance link will get banned. They won't be able to get any certificates from our end or from Google's end as well for this event or any other event in the future. Okay, so please do not share the attendance link. Okay, the attendance link always works. Keep in mind that if it's a capital letter, it should be a capital letter in the link. If it's a small letter, it should be a small letter. If it's a number, make sure it's a number. Okay, don't confuse between O and 0. Okay, that is very, very insensitive of you. So the link always work. Put always the right spelling. Double cross, triple cross check your spellings for the link. Okay, I'll be showing the attendance link right now on my screen. This is a YouTube video. This is not going anywhere. Okay, if you have skipped it, if you're not able to see it, you can rewind it back, watch it again. You can take a screenshot as I'm showing you the links. Okay, you can do anything. Okay, it won't be shared on any of the WhatsApp groups. It won't be shared on Discord. It won't be shared on Instagram. It won't be shared anywhere else. Okay, only on the video I'll be showing it to you on your screen. It won't be shared anywhere. Okay, so this is the attendance link on your screen. I'm increasing the size so that you guys are actually able to see the link. You can take a screenshot. You can rewind the video back if you have missed it. Okay, if it's a capital letter, it's a capital letter. If it's a small letter, it's a small letter. If it's a number, it's a number. Please make sure that you're putting up the right spelling. You can use Google Lens to scan this as well later on, but always remember Google Lens also makes mistake. It will sometimes consider I as 1, 1 as I, it will consider 0 as O, O as 0. So please cross check the spelling of the Google Lens link if it is not working. Otherwise the link will always work. Okay, so guys, please fill up the attendance link as soon as possible. That will be considered as your day 1 attendance. As you're able to see, one response has already come up. That means the attendance link is working. There is no problem with the attendance link. Okay, so please guys, fill it on time. Yes, so the attendance link for today, you can fill it up like in 12 hours after the end of today's class. But from tomorrow, you will only have 1 more hour after the end of the class to fill the attendance link up. Okay, so that you guys are actually attending the classes. Thank you so much, Badman. Okay, again, this is a YouTube video. Okay, you can just rewind it a bit and watch the link again. Okay, this is a YouTube video, guys. You can rewind the video back again and watch the link again. Okay, so it was great meeting you guys right now. We'll be coming back live on Instagram after 10 minutes. Okay, so after 10 minutes, we'll be coming live on Instagram. So if anybody has any questions, any queries, anybody wants to talk to me, they can surely join the same on the DevTown channel itself. Okay, the link is down in the description of the video. So do come. Again, this is a YouTube video. You can rewind the video back and watch it. Okay, the video is not going anywhere. Okay, so thank you so much, guys. It was great meeting you. Let's meet after 10 minutes as well if you guys are free. And okay, so thank you so much, guys. Thank you.